was this a long time coming, but you know, if you know me, you know that I take forever to find like the perfect piece for my rooms that I'm putting together. But I like to call it like selective, not picky. But this light fixture was like holding the whole project back because I felt like I couldn't show you how the bathroom turned out with a big hole in the ceiling. But before I show you the whole grand reveal, I want to show you where this room started and kind of take you back in time a bit. The shower was remodeled like in the 1990s, and it had floor to ceiling tile, and it felt like a cave. It was a very small stand-up shower that was just dark, and no matter how much I bleached and scrubbed at the tiles, they always just looked kind of dirty. And so my husband and I were like, you know what, let's finally do this remodel that we've been dreaming about so much for so long. And luckily we found a really great contractor that let my husband and I do the demo work and prep for them to come set the tile. This isn't something that most contractors like their clients to do, but if you have someone that you know that you can work with, you can definitely save costs on your project by kind of prepping the space and doing a lot of the demo work yourself. So as we started ripping out all of this tile, there was so much rot, and thank goodness we caught it when we did and started this remodel project when we did, because the shower was leaking like over the edges and kind of creating almost like a waterfall type effect onto the wood floor. So as we ripped out some of the floorboards, it was just starting to leak underneath there. And if you let something go like that, you'll probably see it leaking up above the ceiling, you know, sitting down below in the living room. So thank goodness that didn't happen and we caught it early. So our tile setters did like a really incredible shower pan on this. So this is something I will like never have to worry about in my lifetime. They did such an amazing job preventing any kind of future leaks. It was super, super safe, and it was neat to see them build something from scratch. And the way they would set the tiles and do everything was just such a form of artistry. Well, this is what our bathroom looks like right now, but the most beautiful thing is the shower, and they just finished all the tiling work. I'm gonna put this on wide angle so you can see it better. So they're gonna be grouting tomorrow, but he got all the major tile work done. So the curb isn't quite as big as it was, like that huge hump to jump over. And our tiles were huge. They're like 22 by 40 inch tiles. So the less grout lines, the better. And then I got my cherub baby in the center here, but he did the picture railing all along the outside. We were gonna put it up here, but then we just kind of felt like it would get lost in the shadow of the shelf. So then we just centered it on this part here, because this is where like shampoo bottles will go and stuff. So I don't know, it just looks like a little more framed. Would have been just kind of hidden up there, I feel like. And then he put the shelf up here. So this is where we can put our soaps or like, you know, like little jars of whatever. And then what's really pretty about this, I had so much left over of the picture rail stuff that I was like, man, I really want to use this instead of, you know, wasting, you know, I don't know what, they're like $16 a little tile or whatever. So we put them up along the top, so it looks like crown molding up here. So rather than a straight run tile like we had before that was pretty modern, this all has that beautiful picture railing. And then it ties in with this piece here. So it looks really, really beautiful. And he was in here taking pictures of it because he was really proud of the work he did. The guy who did it's like a super perfectionist. He's a young guy like our age, and looks really pretty. Got my little shelf over there for shaving legs. And then this part's all tiled here and here because glass will come up right here. I don't know how far they'll come up with that. The glass guy maybe will be here tomorrow to measure. And then the door hinges and stuff will go on this side, so it'll like open this way. And then on this side of the wall will be the beadboard, just like we have over here. Pete saved all the pieces just in case we can salvage them and reuse it. So yeah, it's gonna be really pretty. So our plan is to hopefully get on the schedule with the glass guy, and then as soon as that's in, we could use it. And even if we can't find flooring right away, we could just clean this up and put a rug down, because it's still wood there, so we could still be able to use the bathroom, you know, while we wait till the wood guy's available or whatever. But it's looking really, really beautiful. So when we ripped out the portion around the shower that was all rotten and stuff, we did lose a lot of the floorboards, but we were able to salvage the flooring that was all underneath the tub and kind of by the toilet and sink area. But the hard thing about this, since we live in a home from the 1800s, it's really hard to try and match up any kind of flooring. So luckily I found this wood salvage place, and we were able to kind of feather in and match up to the rest of the old flooring here in the bathroom. And so the wood that we ended up using came from an old school gymnasium, and it was salvaged from school being torn down. So it kind of has a cool history too. And I love when you have things like that in your home. And when you walk in this room, you can't tell the replacement wood from the old wood. The guys that sanded it for us did such an amazing job feathering that in. This bathroom, it's very different than my bathroom downstairs, the bird bathroom. If you have not seen that video yet, I totally recommend you check it out, because it was an amazing wallpaper project, and it's very bold and wild, and it's just fun down there. And this bathroom is very, very different. This is my space where I just want to go and relax and calm myself and take a nice bath and see the calming sunshine come through the curtains and just relax. So with that said, it's very, very muted in here, and it's actually kind of simple with touches of ornateness. So let's go in and take a look. I can't believe what a difference doing this shower made. It just really opened up the entire space, taking down this wall. I had a little album going on my iPhone of all of these different bathrooms that I was inspired by, and I found this one that was kind of the inspiration photo, and I think we got pretty close to the design of it. Something that was really important to me with this shower was to not have so many grout lines. As I said, the tile before, it was just like endless grout that I felt like I could never get clean. So they used really, really big tiles in this bathroom. I think they are about like 4-foot tiles. So there aren't many grout lines at all. But then at the bottom, I wanted to do something that was a little bit more traditional, that would kind of fit with the, you know, the antiqueness, the Victorianness of our home, with a shower. But down at the floor here, we have real marble, and they're in this beautiful hexagon shape. And I even found, oh, I love this part. See, for me, this is where it really comes in for me. It's all in the details. I love rooms that are quite simple, but the more you look, the more details you find. And down at the base of the shower here, I found a really beautiful ornate drain, and I just love it. I was like, at the drain, you know, like you can't spare a detail like that, because you're in the shower and you stare at your feet and you're rinsing. It's like, you got to look at something pretty. So this medicine cabinet was something that I found myself kind of getting ahead of myself on. And whenever I do DIY projects and I have like an idea, I just like want to jump into it. And sometimes I can't be slowed down to set up my camera and do all my things, you know. And unfortunately, I did that on this one, and I felt like this is something you probably would have wanted to see. So sorry. But I really wanted to find a medicine cabinet in here that would complement our home. And I looked for days and hours online to find something that didn't look so modern and, you know, had a beautiful design or shape to it, and something that was small, and I just couldn't find anything. And so I had thought of, you know, using an antique clock. So for a while I looked online on Facebook Marketplace specifically for an antique clock that I could repurpose into this, and lo and behold, I had one in the garage. Ugh. See, that's what happens when you start hoarding things, you forget what you had. So I went in the garage and I got this thing, and I realized my mom and I got this at a local auction house for $5 back in the day, and it was just filthy. I'd had it in the garage forever. So I cleaned it all up and oiled it. And then on the inside here, I have a single little shelf. And so I just keep the necessities in here. This is actually really wonderful for me because if you're a girl, you know, you like your lotions and potions, and I tend to get carried away with options. Like, I have dry skin today. I have, you know, oily, greasy skin today. I have dull skin. Like, who is she? Who is she today? You know, and I need options. But this kind of helps keep it like at bay a little bit so I don't go overboard with all my products, because I really can't fit a lot in here. The mirror here was a really fun find as well. My parents got this for me down in their area where they live. I think it was $80. Was that right? I think it was $80, but it came from an estate sale, and it originally came from a men's clothing store in Corvallis, Oregon, and it's from the early 1900s, they told me. It has the original beveled glass in it, and it has some damage, you know, to the silver lining with like some speckling and scratches, but I really like that when a mirror is old and it has the old features like that. I think it's part of the charm, and for me, I especially love mirrors because it's fun to think about, like, who got ready in them, who sat here and, you know, brushed your hair. Like in this case, if it was in a men's clothing store, you know, like some gentleman was like getting fitted for his suit and fixing his tie and his vest. Like, I don't know, I like to think about things like that. It's just fun. I don't know. Oh my goodness. So this bathtub was a huge selling point for me. When we saw the house, I was like, oh, I can finally have a bathtub I can stretch out on. And because if you are a tall girl like me, you know that most bathtubs, either you can have your feet and legs warm, or you can have your top warm, but you can't have both. But in this case, I can finally have both warm. And I take baths in here probably at least 3 times a week. It's just, oh, it's so relaxing. And even in the winter months, I love to come in here and take a day bath just because it just warms your soul, you know, it warms your bones. It feels good. So this tub was the only thing, I guess, that I didn't touch at all in the whole remodel. But when we moved it and I looked over on the underside, I noticed all the different paint colors that it's been throughout its lifetime. There was a really dark green here, brown, and a super dark kind of blood red, which wasn't really my flavor, but I love more like neutrals and kind of soft things. And it was just kind of funny to see, you know, this bathtub's been here so long, to see all the different personalities that took baths in here, I guess. This is funny, and here's kind of a pro tip. So this faucet here, I love, and if you're looking at hardware for your bathtub, keep this thought in mind. So when I take a bath and like the water gets cool, you know, you want to like kind of warm it up with a touch of water, but like, but you don't want to like get up to do it. You can just use your feet and like touch the levers with your toes to like flick on the hot water without getting up. See, you can follow me for more elegant tips to be lazy. I have these curtains throughout our home, and I always get a ton of questions on them, and I want to share them with you because if you love the kind of decor like I do, I think you'd really enjoy these in your home as well. But these are the Heritage Lace Gala Fringe curtains, and I love them because they're light filtering, but they don't block so much light out that you're like enclosing your space or making it darker. But they also kind of filter out your neighbors a bit. So even though it looks like you can really see out, when you're outside, they can't really see in. And I love how airy they are. Like I said, it just really kind of lets the natural light come through, and they have a bit of lace at the top. What's really neat about these is you can trim them like you would give yourself like a haircut or something, I guess. So one of the windows downstairs I did trim to length, but you can kind of just like gather them and create a little ponytail and then measure and trim your window to your desired length. But these are just so pretty. Like I told you, I have them throughout the house just because I love them so much, and they just seem to kind of go with everything, and they're just a really, really elegant curtain. So I will link that down below for you if you're interested and you're looking for curtains too. At the foot of the tub, a couple years ago, I found this really beautiful Victorian East Lake shelf at a local estate sale, and it was really dry and brittle. It kind of just needed to be brought back to life and moisturized a bit. So I did do a little bit of a stained wax on it, and it really richened up the color, and it also helped tie it in with the antique mirror and medicine cabinet that I have in here as well. I just keep some really beautiful rolled hand towels in this brass basin I thrifted for $1 at a garage sale. Oh, I love finding like little bits and things like throughout my home, especially decor pieces. I mean, you don't have to spend a lot, you know, to have something that's really elegant and beautiful for your home if you're out going to garage sales and thrift stores. It's just really one of my favorite fun things to look for. And then if you change your mind and you're kind of accessorizing again, you don't have to feel bad for, you know, donating or passing that piece on because you only paid $1 for it. Pretty much all of like the accessories in this room and hardware are all secondhand. It's kind of funny that I have a secondhand bathroom, but yeah, everything in here is old and was thrifted at one point. So I get, except for my match thing. Oh, I just told a lie. But this match thing is really, really cool. This is something that I've been trying to honestly like thrift throughout the years. But this match strike, Pete got me for Christmas this past year, and I will link that for you as well. But match strikes similar to this were something that were used, you know, way back in the day, and everyone had them like by their stove or their fireplace. And I thought it would be really beautiful to have one here in the bathroom. So I'd been searching honestly for years for one, but they're pretty hard to find. So I was pretty excited that Pete gifted me one for Christmas this year. But I always light a scented candle in here when I'm taking a bath, so I needed to have matches. And then you remember that bottle? How funny. Did you read through the comments on that video? Like everyone told me that this bottle was from like a really terrible, disgusting gin, but they would put it in this gorgeous bottle. So I got that for only $1 at a church rummage sale, and I put bubble bath in it. I thought it was just so pretty for that. The beautiful picture over here was also another estate sale find. This is an old antique print, and at one time I had one of these prints on my website, thevintagebombshell.com, and somebody snapped up super fast. So luckily one of my subscribers has the same picture in their home. I just thought that was so cool. But my mom had this in her house for a while, and I was like, Mom, I really, really love that. So whenever you get tired of it, you know. So now I have it in my space, and it was funny when I was picking out the paint colors, I should have just looked at this piece of art because I love the whole color palette in this piece. It's really, really soft and kind of ethereal, and it's really, I don't know, it's just elegant and calming. I love how their shawls are blowing in the wind. The frame that it is in is like the same matte gold that I kind of mimicked in the hardware all throughout the room. And I should have taken inspiration from that, but you know, that was actually like the last piece that I hung in this room. The paint color that I ended up choosing was not even one of the 3 greens that I showed you. This is called Planet Earth from Sherwin-Williams. I ended up going even a shade lighter than the lightest color that everyone seemed to love. And I love it in here. It's really nice, and it kind of just blends with the sky. It kind of flows your eye outside, but the matte ended up being the same color that I chose for the room. Like, go figure. Oh boy, the taps were a project, but you know what? These, probably my favorite fixture that I've ever found. I got these on eBay, and it's a vintage set from Sherrill Wagner, and Sherrill Wagner makes incredible sculptural hardware, and I got a really good deal on these on eBay, like I said, but we had to rework them and get some pieces machined to make it fit. So with that said, it was quite the project. You know, my husband really enjoyed that one. But I just love this. Like, how fun is it to come over here and like brush your teeth, turn this on and wash your face. Oh my gosh, it just makes getting clean so much more fun. Cheryl Wagner, like I said, did really beautiful sculptural hardware back in the 50s. So a lot of like the famous actresses and singers would have those pieces in their homes. If you've seen the movie Mommy Dearest, like the one of Joan Crawford, you'll see when she's getting ready in the shower, there's some really like weird ornate hardware in the shower, and that is Cheryl Wagner. And I believe she has like the swan faucet even in her home too. That one is iconic. Google the Cheryl Wagner swan faucet. It's amazing. But this is just one of my favorite pieces. I'm really careful to clean it though, because it is actually plated in 24 karat gold. So I don't take anything abrasive to it. I normally just take a damp sponge or a damp cloth and I just kind of like dust clean over it because I just want to protect that finish for as long as I can. So the light above was the very last thing, like I said, that we installed in here. When we first moved in, I had put this big chandelier in this room and it was too bulky. I was like, ugh, bad decision. And then I put this mirror here and the bulky chandelier really blocked the ornateness of the antique mirror. It was just not a good combination. So I wanted to take that out, and after we painted and got everything finished in here, I spent hours looking for a light fixture that kind of was reminiscent of like an Italian lantern. And I found this one on eBay for only $60. And I just love that this Italian gold finish, it matches all of the hardware again in the rest of the bathroom. And I like it because it has a really soft glow. I don't know if you can see there, but has a really dim glow. And this isn't something that I turn on to get ready with or to really see in this bathroom, but I turn this on when I'm taking a bath at night if I want to read a book or a magazine. It's just this kind of warm candlelit glow, and the way that the globe is all encased in that beautiful kind of gold filigree. I love all the details in it, and for $60, that is such a great price. So don't forget, if you're kind of remodeling your space, look at places like Habitat for Humanity, your local thrift stores that might have a great hardware section, Etsy, eBay, like I did, because you can find a really beautiful kind of unique light fixture that will complement your space for like a fraction of the price of some of these big box stores. These guys are so cool. Okay, I got these also online on a website called Depop, which is another wonderful place to look for secondhand items. And I ordered them, and it was so funny. Like the shop that I ordered it from, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm a subscriber of your channel. How cool!" So if she's watching today, check it out. I finally have these up in our bathroom. So these were originally towel rings, and we removed the ring part and made it one giant towel bar. So we have room here to stretch our towels out and really let them dry. I went to the hardware store and we got this metal rod, and I just primed it and I spray painted it with a antique gold spray paint, and it did a wonderful job, you know, matching here with the real Italian hardware. These are so fun. I don't know if they're part koi fish, part dog, part lion. They're very weird and just odd, and I love unique hardware like this. This is how I said, you know, our bathroom is really a calming place, but the more you look, you'll find weird little whimsical details. So at first, when we were demoing and kind of rebuilding the shower, we thought, oh, we're gonna do like a floor to whatever, almost ceiling glass. But then I was thinking, if we do something like that, we're gonna be staring at the toilet when we're taking a shower. So we did keep this kind of pony wall look, so it gives some privacy here while you're in the shower, and you don't have to look at the toilet below. It's all of those details. So I'm telling you, like if you're remodeling a bathroom, like really think about everything, like where you will be standing, and when you stand there, what will you be looking at? All of those things make such a difference in the end. But we really love how this turned out. When you're in the shower, it just feels so open, and you can scrub your hair and shampoo, and you're looking straight out at that beautiful window with the lace over it and the sunlight. It's just a really nice, calm space to be. And what's really amazing is, you know, we didn't change the structure of our bathroom. We didn't change that layout of our bathroom. We mostly just changed the shower. And by adding this glass and removing that big tile wall, it opened up our space here. We have a small bathroom. It's not big by any means, but doing something like this where it doesn't block your line of vision, it really creates like a more airy, open space, and we're really excited about it. So I have to mention the shower niche in here. I was really excited about this. This is my first time ever doing a bathroom remodel and getting to choose like tile and finishes and things. And all my life, I've always had one of those little shower caddies, you know, they get old and rusty and you got to get a new one next year. And this was my very first time having the shower niche for all of my potions. And our contractor was like, how big do you want this thing? He brought this little template over and it was like just a little thing like this. And I was like, oh, it's gotta be bigger than that. And he's like, really? Well, I guess I could make it like 2 feet big. Is that enough room for you? And I said, yeah. I was like, I might need to exfoliate one day and then I have to moisturize, I have to condition, I gotta do all my things. And I just didn't wanna run out of space, you know? It's like, I gotta have my options in there. So he got a good laugh at that one. But the way he trimmed out the niche and then also put the like more beveled type molding along the top of the shower, it almost mimics crown molding. And the way the niche is done, it's kind of trimmed out to create a picture frame type effect, which I really, really love. And then in the very center, oh my gosh, I cried when they put this in. Am I gonna cry at you again over a tile? Maybe. This tile in the center has these sweet little cherubs on it and these geese that are in flight with beautiful blue ribbon kind of wrapping around them. And I've had this tile for years and I got it at a local antique mall for $6. And I got that tile and I wrapped it in tissue and I tucked it away in a drawer and I said, someday you're gonna have a home beautiful enough to put this tile in and it's gonna be amazing. And I do, I'm so excited. Oh, I finally have the tile up. Oh God, I'm crying at you about a tile, sorry. But it was really a big thing, you know, when you have a thought in your life and you like dream about something and then to see it actually come to life in front of you, like that thing you dreamed about years ago and now here it is. Like it's a moment, you know, and so there that little tile is. And so, you know, every time I'm in there in the shower and I see it and they're so cute and playing, it just reminds me that like if you keep dreaming upon something, keep praying and wishing for it, you know, those things can happen for you. And that little tile is kind of an example. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed seeing our bathroom makeover. This was a fun one for me to share with you. Like I said, this became such a really calming, tranquil place to be, and it's very, very different than the bird bathroom. So if you haven't seen that video yet, I'll be sure and link it for you down below. As always, don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.